My name is Miller. I'm 35 years old and I'm a software engineer. I married Emily 5 years ago when we both thought we were in love with each other. We met romantically, fell in love at first sight at a friend's party, and quickly fell in love. Emily was a kindergarten teacher at the time, and I was deeply attracted to her cheerfulness and love for children. We decided to get married after a year of dating, and soon afterward we welcomed our first child, Lily. However, as time went by, problems between us gradually appeared. As a software engineer, I often have to work overtime, sometimes even overnight. According to statistics, the average weekly working hours of software engineers are more than 41 hours, which means that I spend a lot of time at work. I worked irregular hours and often missed dinners with my family. Gradually, Emily began to complain about my absence, and she felt that I was too focused on work and neglected my family. At the same time, Emily seemed to lose interest in our life. She no longer greeted me cheerfully when I came home from work or shared her day with me as she had in the past. She began to complain frequently about the drudgery of housework and the monotony of life. As a full-time housewife, Emily had to take care of Lily and handle household chores every day, which was indeed a tough job. But in the past, she used to enjoy it and would share with me all the details of Lily's life. Now, she is often silent and absorbed in her own world. I could sense that there was a problem between us, but the pressures of my job kept me busy. I had to take on more projects in order to keep up with family expenses, which meant longer working hours. We communicated less and less, and even when we were together, we often played with our cell phones separately, without the communication and intimacy we used to have. Emily began to mention frequently that she wanted more freedom and adventure. She envied some of her friends for being able to travel as much as they wanted and try new things. She complained that our lives were too comfortable and lacked passion. I tried to explain to her that a stable job and family life, though dull, are the foundation of our lives. However, she didn't seem to agree with me. Gradually, I realized that Emily started to try some new things, such as yoga and painting. At first, I was happy that she had found her own interests. But as she invested more and more time in her hobbies, it seemed that I had to take care of all the household chores in addition to my work. I had to take care of the house and Lily on top of my work, and I began to feel exhausted and uneasy about the changes in Emily. Our marriage, which seemed perfect on the surface, was actually cracked. We both dealt with the pressures of life in our own way, but neglected each other's feelings. I often wonder if we could have communicated more and understood each other better. Would we not have come to this point? But whenever I tried to talk to Emily, she always glossed over the issue or simply avoided it. I didn't know where our marriage was going, but I had a vague feeling that a big change was coming. As time went by, my relationship with Emily became more and more strained. Communication between us broke down almost completely, and even when we were together, it was often in silence. Emily seemed distracted, and my concerns and greetings were only perfunctory. Just when our marriage was in the doldrums, a seemingly random event changed everything. Emily was driving to pick up Lily from kindergarten that day when she encountered car trouble on the way. She had to take the car to a nearby repair store. It was at this store that Emily met Tom. At first, I didn't know Tom existed, and Emily only mentioned the car repair occasionally, saying that the service at the repair store was good. Gradually, however, I noticed that Emily's behavior began to change. She started going out more often for various reasons, sometimes even coming home after Lily had gone to bed. Her cell phone became an inseparable companion, and I noticed her snickering when she received certain messages. I didn't think much of it at first. I just assumed she had found some new hobby outside the home. After all, after the problems in our marriage, I was hoping she would find something to distract her. But as time went on, my suspicions grew. Once, Emily forgot her cell phone when she went out. When the screen lit up, I caught a glimpse of the sender's name, Tom. It was a short message, just a few words, "Thinking of you." But it was enough to set off alarm bells in my mind. I began to observe Emily's every move. I realized that she often received messages from Tom late at night, and every time she received a message, she would become very excited and even sneak out of the house. On a few occasions, she even stayed out all night, only to return home the next morning with a satisfied smile I had never seen before. My heart was cut to the bone. As a husband, I never thought I would be in a situation where my wife was cheating on me. Statistics show that in the US, about 20 to 40% of married people have cheated on their wives at least once. But when that number became a reality and the most important person in my life, the pain was unspeakable. I tried to confront Emily, but she skillfully avoided me every time. She always said she was just out meeting friends or running around on Lily's behalf. But I knew she was lying, because those hidden smiles, those late-night messages, those excuses, all told me the hard truth. My wife was having sex with another man. I was overwhelmed with anger and sadness. I didn't understand why Emily would do this to me, to our family. We were so in love. We had a lovely daughter. Our life was dull but full of happiness. And now, she shattered it all with her own hands. I started trying to save our marriage. I reduced my working hours, tried to spend more time with Emily and Lily at home, and prepared surprises for Emily in the hope of rekindling her love for me. But nothing seemed to work. Emily was indifferent to my efforts, and her heart had already flown to that man, Tom. I felt desperate and helpless. I knew that my marriage with Emily had come to an end, but I still have a last ray of hope. Hope Emily can for Lily, for our former love, back to the heart. However, what happened next completely shattered my fantasies. During the time I was trying to save our marriage, Emily's behavior became more and more irrational. She began to stay out late, sometimes for days at a time. Whenever I questioned her about it, she would always use excuses like she was busy at work or taking care of a friend. But I knew she was with Tom. I accidentally found Emily's chat records with Tom on her computer. Those explicit words and intimate photos were all stimulating my nerves. I realized that they were not just lovers. They were planning to leave the city together and live their so-called free life. In the face of all this, I was overwhelmed with anger and despair. I tried to communicate with Emily, hoping that she would realize her mistake and come back to the family. But Emily seemed to have made up her mind. She told me that she was tired of her life, tired of me, and tired of the family. She said she felt truly happy and free with Tom. I can't believe my ears. We were such a loving couple. We had so many good times together. We had a lovely daughter. And now Emily's throwing it all away for a man she's only just met. I tried to get Emily to calm down and think about her decision. I told her how much divorce affects children. According to studies, children are traumatized by their parents' divorce, and it can even affect their future relationships and married life. I pleaded with Emily to at least reconsider for Lily's sake and for our daughter's sake. But Emily seems to have made up her mind. She said she didn't want to live this fake life anymore. She said that with me, she felt depressed and helpless, while with Tom, she felt truly herself. She even said that she felt that our marriage had been a mistake from the beginning and that she regretted marrying me. I tried one last-ditch effort. I told Emily that I was willing to change, that I was willing to do whatever it took for the family. I even suggested that I could quit my job and devote myself to taking care of the family. But Emily just looked at me coldly and told me it was too late. What I didn't realize was that Emily didn't even have the courage to tell me her decision to my face. When I woke up that morning, I realized that Emily had already left. She left a letter telling me that she had decided to leave with Tom and live the life she wanted. She said she would contact me about the divorce and that she thought it would be better for me to raise Lily. After reading this letter, I felt completely shocked and betrayed. I couldn't believe that Emily had given up our family and our children so easily. We had promised to grow old together, to give Lily a complete and happy home. Now, all of that has gone to hell. I fell into a deep state of self-doubt and anguish. I began to reflect on my role in the marriage, wondering if there was anything I hadn't done well, anything I could have done differently. But I soon realized that now was not the time to feel sorry for myself. I had to pick myself up and prepare for the legal battle that was about to unfold. At the same time, I had to face the problem of how to explain all this to Lily, who was too young to fully understand what was happening. How do I tell her that mommy has left us and may never come back? How do I calm her down and make her feel safe and loved? I decided not to tell Lily that mommy didn't want her anymore. I just told her that mommy needed to go away for a while, but that mommy would always love her. I did everything I could to be there for her, to reassure her, to make her feel loved and supported by her father. Over the next few days, I worked hard and prepared for the upcoming legal battle. I consulted lawyers, gathered evidence, and prepared myself to fight for Lily's custody. I knew it was going to be a tough battle, but for Lily's sake and for the sake of our future, I had to face it with courage. I didn't know if Emily would come around, but I knew that I had to prepare for the worst. I had to be a strong support for Lily and give her a stable and loving home. No matter how hard the road ahead is, I will keep going because I know that I am fighting for my favorite daughter. Immediately after Emily left, I started working on the divorce. However, to my shock and anger, Emily changed her mind and started fighting for custody of Lily. This was completely different from what she had said when she left. At first, I was confused. How could Emily really care about custody of Lily? She had already dumped Lily once for cheating on her, and she had stayed out late and hardly participated in Lily's life while she was growing up. But soon, I realized her true intentions. My attorney told me that in many divorce cases, custody is fought for the sole purpose of obtaining a greater division of property. That's because legally, the primary custodian usually gets more property, such as the house and child support. Apparently, that's what Emily was trying to do. To me, it's a great insult that Emily not only betrayed our marriage and hurt my feelings for her, but now she's using our daughter as a bargaining chip to acquire property. Not only is this behavior extremely selfish, it is also a complete violation of the basic morals of motherhood. In court, my lawyer emphasized Emily's incompetence as a mother. The attorney presented a large amount of evidence that I had collected, including intimate photos and explicit chats between Emily and her lover, Tom, proving that she had been cheating on her husband for a long time. Records of Emily's frequent sleepovers, sometimes for several days in a row, and evidence that Emily had missed several important moments for Lily, such as Lily's birthday party and her first ballet recital, and so on. Counsel pointed out that a mother who abandoned her 4-year-old daughter in order to cheat on her husband, and who often stayed out at night and was not involved in her daughter's life, was not entitled to custody. The attorney emphasized that Emily's real purpose in seeking custody was to obtain more property, not to act in Lily's best interests. Emily's attorney tried to argue that Emily was a good mother, that she loved Lily, and that she was fighting for custody for Lily's well-being. But that argument paled in the face of Emily's actual behavior. The judge also saw Emily's true intentions. Eventually, the judge made a ruling. Given Lily's age and Emily's erratic and selfish behavior, the judge determined that it was in Lily's best interest for me to raise her, and that Emily was granted monthly visitation with Lily, but that primary custody of Lily was to be given to me. The judge also failed to meet Emily's request for a division of property. The judge held that Emily's cheating behavior was the main reason for the breakup of the family and that she should be held primarily responsible. In the end, I kept our house and most of our joint assets, and Emily got only a small portion. The judge also required Emily to pay a portion of my attorney's fees as punishment for her infidelity. The ruling was a huge blow to Emily. Not only did she lose custody of her daughter, but she did not get the property she wanted. More importantly, her failures as a mother and wife were completely exposed. Her selfish, unfaithful, and irresponsible behavior was enumerated in court. This will undoubtedly have a serious negative impact on her reputation and future life. As far as I know, Emily's life after the divorce wasn't very happy. Her lover, Tom, left her soon after he learned that she didn't get any more money from the divorce. Apparently, Tom was after Emily's money from the beginning. After losing Tom, her daughter, and most of her money, Emily's life was in shambles. Her story has become a negative one in our social circle, and people use her example to warn of the serious consequences of infidelity in marriage. For me, it was a painful but necessary process. Through this process, I saw Emily for what she really was. She betrayed not only our marriage, but her responsibilities as a mother. I, as a father, have the responsibility to protect my daughter and give her a stable, healthy, and loving environment to grow up in. Divorce is a difficult decision, but in some cases it is necessary. When one partner has completely abdicated his or her responsibilities to the family, when the marriage has become a disservice, divorce may be the best option to protect the children and the other partner. After a long legal battle, I was finally awarded full custody of Lily. Although this was a difficult victory, I knew that the real challenge was just beginning. I had to rebuild my life and, more importantly, create a loving and secure home environment for Lily. As a single father, I am under tremendous pressure. Taking care of a 4-year-old is no easy task, not to mention the fact that I have to work at the same time. According to statistics, there are about 15 million children in the United States living in single-parent households. This means that single parents like me struggle every day to balance work and family. At first, I was overwhelmed. I had to learn how to tie Lily's hair, how to dress her, how to put her to sleep. I also had to deal with the emotional trauma of her mother leaving. Sometimes Lily would wake up in the night crying and asking me when her mom would be back. These moments always break my heart. I remember one time Lily cried at a Mother's Day program in kindergarten because she was the only child without her mom. When the teacher told me about it, I felt incredibly guilty and sad. I realized that I had to work harder to play the dual role of mother and father. In order to give Lily more attention, I changed my work schedule and started working from home so that I could be there for her. I started to work from home so that I can take care of Lily whenever I want, and I also started to be more involved in Lily's preschool, reading with her, teaching her to read, and taking her to the park every day. I hope that through my companionship, Lily can feel that she is loved and that her life is stable and secure. I also realized that as a father, I had to project a positive male image to Lily. I began to pay more attention to what I said and did, trying to show strength, responsibility, love, and respect. I told Lily that although her mom was gone, I would always love her and support her. I encouraged her to be brave and pursue her dreams and not to let anything stop her. In order to create more wonderful memories for Lily, I started to plan some family activities. We started baking cookies, planting flowers, and making crafts together. We also started creating our own holiday traditions, such as decorating the Christmas tree together at Christmas and making a turkey dinner together at Thanksgiving. Through these activities, I have seen Lily's smile grow, and she has begun to move on from the loss of her mother. At the same time, I am slowly beginning to recover from the pain of the past. I began to realize that although Emily's departure had brought about a huge change in our lives, it could also be a new beginning. I began to re-examine my life and think about what I really wanted. I started to pay more attention to my physical and mental health, and I started to learn some new parenting skills. I know that only when I am strong enough can I give Lily a stable and happy home. Little by little, Lily and I found our own happiness and peace. We knew that we would face many more challenges, but we had each other and we had love, and that was enough. I began to look forward to the future, to seeing Lily grow up, and to my own new life. Looking back on this experience, I realized that life is full of surprises and challenges. The breakup of my marriage and the separation of my family are things I never thought would happen to me. But when the going gets tough, we have to choose how to face it. I chose to fight. I chose to stand up for love. The process was painful, but it also made me grow up, made me learn to be strong, and learn how to find hope in the face of adversity. I am sharing this story in the hope that I can give some inspiration and encouragement to those who are going through a similar predicament. I want to tell them that whether you are facing the breakdown of your marriage or any other setback in your life, please don't give up. Especially if you have children, you must be strong for them. Children are the most precious gift in our lives, and they are worth everything. In conclusion, I would like to say that family and love are the most precious assets in our lives. We should cherish them and take good care of them. While pursuing our personal dreams, we should not forget to give love and support to our families. In the face of difficulties, do not forget that our family is always our strongest backing. Let's create a better world with love, a future full of hope and happiness. Especially for our children, let's give them a growing environment full of love and security. Let them know that no matter what happens, mom and dad will always be by their side, will always love them and support them. This is my greatest wish as a father. Thank you for taking the time to listen to today's story. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you have a story to share about your own or someone else's experience, please feel free to contact me. Take care.